One TV. Graced differently. Anointed differently.
They may dispute the prophecy, but they cannot dispute the fulfillment. On the 18th May 2025, in a live Sunday service on Fire One TV, the global prophet Elijah Kofi, the general overseer of Fire Nation Arena Ministries, was led by the Holy Spirit of God to prophesy and pray for the Kenyan people and government about the coming civil unrest in the country, and these were his words.
The Spirit of God is upon me and my eyes are open.
Yes, Lord.
And I hear God say, pray for the nation of Kenya concerning two things.
Yes, Lord.
The first is to pray against war, outbreak of war.
Oh, yes, Papa.
Civil unrest or war.
Prophecy.
Pray against war in Kenya.
Yes.
Barely 3 weeks after the prophecy, civil unrest broke out in the capital city over first, the finance bill, and secondly, the killing of a blogger who died in police custody. Apostle Dr. Elijah Kofi is worth hearing.
Hello and welcome. We can't take our eyes off this story. There is so much happening and it's developing so fast. It's raising bigger questions about power, about police brutality. The images coming out of Kenya, it's just impossible to ignore. Here's the latest on Albert Ojwang. Now, what started as a custody death has turned into a national moment of reckoning. The air in Nairobi yesterday was tense. Violent clashes erupted. Security forces fired tear gas on crowds protesting the death of Albert Ojwang, the 31-year-old teacher who was jailed but didn't make it out alive. Take a look. Protesters hurled rocks at police officers, they torched cars, and a few even reportedly got injured by rubber bullets. The flashpoint of it all, the death of Ojwang. He died in a Nairobi cell last weekend. Police claim that he hit his own head and died, but a post-mortem disputed that. It revealed that Ojwang was assaulted to death.
Because one of us was killed, he was picked from the village and brought here to Nairobi. I later heard he was killed. He was murdered by strangulation after he was severely beaten. He didn't die by hitting his head against the wall but was killed by police. That's why I am here. I am deeply pained.
And all of this is happening right as the Kenyan government tries to pass a budget. The current demonstrations have overshadowed that. The finance bill was tactfully designed. The administration wanted to avoid what happened in 2023. Last year, President Ruto-backed tax hikes descended the country into frenzy. Thousands had stormed the parliament, and Ruto was forced to scrap his plans. The current situation is almost giving flashbacks. Ojwang's death has thrown a match into a room full of dry papers.
Nairobi's central business district descended into unrest as protests over the murder of Albert Ojwang turned chaotic. Businesses were forced to shut down as police engaged destructive protesters in running battles. Suspected goons hijacked the demonstrations, torching cars and vandalizing property, moves seen as an attempt to discredit a lawful push for justice. NTV's crew covering Budget Day was caught up in the chaos, as our Laban Shaban now tells us.
Chaos gripped the heart of Nairobi on Thursday as protesters clashed with police across major city streets, leaving behind a trail of destruction and fear. Two cars were set ablaze near Kenya Cinema along Moi Avenue. Their owners left counting losses on what should have been a normal day of hustle. But images circulating online suggest a darker narrative. Amateur footage shows individuals dismantling the cars moment before they were touched, prompting suspicion that organized goons may have hijacked peaceful protests to paint demonstrators in bad light. No intervention from onlookers, business owners, or even security personnel could save the vehicles from the raging flames. The NTV team deployed to cover Budget Day was caught in the chaos. Their vehicle's windscreen was damaged during a confrontation between police and protesters. On board were news anchor Frida Mwaka, driver Ibrahim Nyakundi, and camera person Shadrack Kiplagat.
I was seated here, so imerusha directly hapa.
Frida sustained minor injuries and received treatment at Meridian Hospital's Nation Center branch and was later discharged. Demonstrations of destruction rocked the capital and overshadowed Kenya's Budget Day. Tension flared in the air as they took to the streets and turned the Budget Day into a scene of chaos. With fearless defiance, the rowdy protesters hurled stones at police. The police, in turn, responded with volleys of tear gas and activated water cannons. Makeshift barricades of stones and metal sheets for a construction site turned city roads into battlefields. The thunder of tear gas canisters and occasional gunshots did little to deter the determined demonstrators. Some went further, smashing public bins, destroying traffic signs, and toppling streetlights, acts that many say betray the spirit of justice they seek. Amid the mayhem, a public service vehicle had its windscreen shattered, just one of many victims caught in the unrest. Yet, some boda riders and matatu crews braved the tension, choosing to keep Nairobi moving. Still, many shops remained shut, traders opting to count today's losses rather than risk their lives, hoping tomorrow will offer a safer chance to earn a living. Laban Shaban, NTV.
On June 12, 2025, a single moment in Nairobi's central business district CBD ignited a firestorm of debate across Kenya and beyond. A young woman standing defiantly in front of a masked police officer reached out and pulled off his mask, exposing his face to the world. Some say her name was Shakira Wafula, a name synonymous with courage in Kenya's ongoing protest movement. But was this act a bold stand against oppression or a reckless descent into anarchy? Today we dive into this gripping story, exploring the context, the controversy, and the deeper questions it raises about protest, power, and accountability in Kenya. To understand this moment, we need to rewind to the spark that set Kenya ablaze. In June 2024, the hashtag Reject Finance Bill protest erupted, driven by young Kenyans furious over proposed tax hikes in the Finance Bill 2024. These were not just any protest, they were decentralized, fueled by social media, and led by a generation tired of economic hardship and perceived government betrayal. President William Ruto's administration, elected in 2022, on a bottom-up promise to uplift the marginalized, faced accusations of turning its back on those very people. The protest turned deadly, with the Human Rights Watch reporting that security forces killed at least 19 protesters on June 25, 2024 alone, when Parliament was stormed. The response from Kenya's police was swift and brutal. Tear gas, water cannons, and live bullets were used to disperse crowds. Reports of abductions, torture, and extrajudicial killings surfaced, with the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights documenting at least 82 abductions in 2024, many linked to the protest. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority (IPOA) launched investigations into these abysses, including 67 deaths between March and July 2023, but progress has been painfully slow. No officers have faced prosecution or imprisonment for these alleged crimes, leaving a cloud of impunity over the nation.
Justice! 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 Peaceful! We are peaceful! We are peaceful!
Elijah Kofi King is worth hearing.